The final moments in the life of Michael Vance captured on camera. The shaken town of Luther breathes a sigh of relief and a stronger law to stop drunk drivers. This is OU Nightly.
This trooper, the only one firing off shots at this point.
Come up if there's...
Is this trooper the only one firing off shots at this point?
Right at this point. You heard everything go down in the helicopter, so you'll see it.
You've just seen part of the high-speed firefight between an Oklahoma Highway Patrol officer and Michael Dale Vance. Vance was shot and killed late Sunday in northwest Oklahoma after a long chase and gunfight that left him dead on a highway called Cemetery Road.
Vance's death ended the longest manhunt in Oklahoma history. And at an Oklahoma City news conference, law enforcement officers recounted the last minutes in the life of Michael Vance. The chase began on County Road 2130 after Vance ran a roadblock with 3 troopers in pursuit. The chase went on for several miles, with shots exchanged along the way. Vance with his AK-47 and the troopers armed with M4s. Finally, after taking heavy fire, the OHP helicopter video shows Vance exiting his stolen pickup and ultimately falling dead onto the pavement. A large group of officers from across the state expressed their gratitude, one agency to another, for the cooperation and coordination it took to bring Vance down.
OU Nightly's Chris Hubbard was in Oklahoma City for the news conference, and he joins us live. Chris, what's the latest?
In the conference that ended a little more than an hour ago, law officials from various departments gathered to give their insight on the ongoing investigation in the Vance shooting, including releasing dash cam footage and helicopter footage of the shooting Sunday night in the Nance case. All the officials agreed that the Nance was not going down without a fight.
Michael Vance was our worst case scenario, period. He was a determined, violent criminal with no regard for public safety, no regard for public life, and he had nothing to lose.
Commissioner Thompson said it best when he said that Nance was going down and it was not going down without a fight. Reporting live from Oklahoma City at OHP Command Center, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Residents in Vance's hometown can sleep easier at night now that the Michael Vance rampage is over. OU Nightly's Macy B. Healer reports from Vance's hometown of Luther.
Luther residents can breathe a sigh of relief after the news of Michael Vance Jr.'s death on Sunday.
We're glad it's over.
The fear of not knowing where Vance was over the past week frightened residents into taking extra precautions to keep themselves safe. Robert Becker lives about a half-mile away from the spot where Vance shot 2 officers in Wellston last Sunday.
I locked up everything that night because it's about a mile straight through. He could have walked and nobody knew where he was at for sure.
Cops from several counties have been patrolling different towns Vance was spotted in. Pauline Adams lives in Luther. She sums up her and her neighbors' feelings concisely.
Relieved, really relieved.
Police began searching for Vance last Sunday, October 23rd, after he killed 2 of his family members and shot 2 police officers. The chase ended 2 nights ago on Sunday when police found and shot Vance to death. Councilman McDaniels points to Luther's sense of community as a way to deal with the traumatic events of the last week.
People here watch out for each other, and if one of us hurts, then we all hurt.
Evident in the smile between neighbors at the Dollar General and the casual conversation between friends on the streets, one thing is sure: Vance did not break up this tight-knit community. Macy B. Healer, OU Nightly.
And with Vance's murderous trek now in the past, let's look at a timeline of events. Police officers responded to shots at a property in Lincoln County, and when they arrived, Vance allegedly opened fire on the officers. 2 officers and Vance were hit in this shootout, but Vance managed to escape in a stolen vehicle. 3 hours later on Sunday night, police found the stolen vehicle and the dead bodies of Ron and Kay Wilkson, Vance's aunt and uncle. On Monday, arrest warrants were officially filed, including 2 counts of first-degree murder, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and possession of a firearm after a felony. Wednesday, Luther schools canceled class for safety reasons, and Friday they canceled for the funeral of the Wilkson couple. After searching Friday and Saturday, Michael Vance was found and killed in a shootout Sunday, October 30th.
Moving away from the Michael Vance dilemma, we now have Jordan Overton live with some weather. Jordan, what's going on?
Yeah, that's right. Currently it is more hot. We are on the first day of November, but it sure doesn't feel like it. Live radar shows not too much going on, but what we're watching is we're keeping an eye on a cold front off to our north. And this is going to move into our direction as we go into tomorrow. Now let's take a look at the temperatures behind it. We've got 74 degrees, 68 degrees. Is that coming our way? I'm going to tell you coming up in just a bit. So we're talking about our record warmth, this cold front, and maybe some thunderstorms. Also maybe some cooler weather ahead. All the details coming up. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jordan. A law to improve the prosecution of repeat DUIs goes into effect today. House Bill 3146 created the Impaired Driving Elimination Act and will move all DUIs from municipal non-courts of record to a court of record. The law will allow any municipality with a population of 60,000 or more to have the option to create a court of record.
And Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oklahoma will have 150 mobile assistance centers across the state to help people enroll for health insurance. The assistance centers will give people a one-on-one sit-down with insurance experts and help people get the best plan available for them. And health insurance isn't just a concern in Oklahoma, but across the nation as well. Abby Green joins us now in the News Center with more. Abby?
Health insurance markets formed from President Obama's law will have less choice next year than since the program started. Consulting firm Avalare Health and analysis by AP show that 1/3 of U.S. countries will have only one health marketplace insurer in the next year. Caroline Pearson, senior vice president with Avalare, said, quote, "Rising premiums get all of the political attention, but lack of choice between insurers could be a bigger problem for consumers. This catastrophe has consumers frantic to find options." The Iraqi prime minister has told ISIS, surrender or die. Iraqi troops are now the closest to Mosul they've been since the 2-week mission began. Iraqi forces surrounded the village of Gogjali on the outskirts of Mosul and by late afternoon had control of Maj. Gogjali is the last of the populated areas before eastern Mosul, and freeing the village will allow forces to enter the larger city. And with just 1 week to go before the 2016 election, the candidates are hitting each other where it hurts. From Clinton's emails and Trump's treatment of women, the race for the president is looking like it could come down to the wire. And now a new CNN poll shows Clinton with a 4-point lead, but the latest ABC News Washington Post poll shows Trump leading for the first time since May. That's what's happening around the world. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Abby. Retired U.S. Marine John Guandolo made several inflammatory remarks in a legislative committee meeting at the Capitol last week. He said the Islamic Society of Greater Oklahoma City and related groups were terrorist-linked organizations. CAIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations, decried the remarks on Facebook and has issued a strong denunciation of anti-Islamic rhetoric.
And still to come on OU Nightly, OU is hosting its first ever Unity Symposium. Stay with us. Welcome back. U.S. officials say a program to return land on American Indian reservations to tribal control will most likely run out of money before millions of eligible acres are addressed. The Obama administration is spending close to $1.6 billion on the tribal buyback land program that was initiated under a 2009 legal settlement.
Storm Jones joins us now in the studio with the latest on a high-profile business merger. Storm?
As oil and natural gas industry continues to struggle with slumping prices, industrial giant General Electric is merging with Baker Hughes. The deal announced today will combine GE's gas and oil operations with one of the world's largest oil field service companies. GE will hold 60% of ownership of the merged company, which is renamed New Baker Hughes. Halliburton had to call off a merger with Baker Hughes last year following a Justice Department antitrust review. And Wells Fargo is back on Capitol Hill, that is. Today, the federal government slapped the company with a $50 million fine, this time for overcharging homeowners for appraisal fees. Those fees are typically $30 or less, but the banking giant was charging at least 3 times that. Wells Fargo agreed to the settlement but maintains they did nothing wrong and just wanted to avoid a long litigation process. And Black Friday begins today on Amazon. That's right, today, November 1st. The online retail giant launched its holiday sales website at midnight. But just like brick and mortar shopping, the deals don't last long, with some appearing and disappearing every 5 minutes. Amazon will continue Black Friday through December 22nd. Guys, last year online retailers did about $4.5 billion on Black Friday and Thanksgiving days alone, just 2 days.
Wow. And you know what, Storm? I'm all about starting Christmas early, but this one was a little crazy too.
Yeah. Just early, right. Just November.
Exactly.
Let's get through the election.
Thank you, Storm. OU is hosting its first ever Unity Symposium today and tomorrow at the Thurman J. White Forum building. It's a 2-day event featuring a wide range of speakers. OU Nightly's Nate Fain is at the symposium right now. Nate, we know the event started about 30 minutes ago, so what can you tell us so far?
Thanks. Today marks day one of the 2-day Unity Symposium. This event is being put on by multiple student organizations, including the SGA, the Hispanic American Student Association, and the Iranian Cultural Association. President David Bourne was supposed to kick off today's proceedings with a speech, but had to cancel at the last minute due to illness. That doesn't mean this event is low on big-name speakers. Today's panel will feature state legislators from both the Democratic and Republican Party, and tomorrow's panel will be led by students, including former OU football players Ty Darlington and Eric Stryker. Today's event isn't about airing grievances or demanding change, but instead coming together to start a dialogue and celebrate diversity here at OU. Back to you guys at the studio.
Thanks, Nate. Still ahead on OU Nightly, the Cleveland Indians are back home and 1 game away from a World Series title.
And high temperatures across the state are in the 80s. I'll let you know when it's going to change. Coming up. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Jordan Overton with a look at your weather. So it's the first day of November. And what does that mean? That's normally when Oklahoma City and Norman see their first freeze. What was our low this morning, though? 63 degrees. Not even anywhere close to that. Unseasonably warm temperatures, but that's going to be coming to a change. Watching a cold front off to our north, and this is going to slide through over the course of tomorrow. But after that, as we look forward into things, there's a front. So that moves off, and that's going to kind of move away. And mild weather is going to kind of settle in for most of the country, not just Oklahoma. For most of the country, we're looking at highs in the 70s, maybe even the 60s. That's going to kind of continue all the way into next week. But what we're keeping an eye on is towards the beginning and mid next week, we're going to see a cool shot come in. There's a low, there's a cool air. See how that kind of cold air just kind of drops down? We're looking at highs that could potentially be in the 40s. We might even reach the 30s. It is definitely not out of the question as we hit Wednesday of next week. So relief is on the way, thankfully, because it's been very unseasonably warm for really the past 2 weeks. Now the cold front for tomorrow, we do have a rain chance for that. So here's the front. This is Wednesday at 5:30 in the afternoon. Could see some showers and storms. Now these are not going to be severe storms. These are mainly storms that we could see lots of heavy rain and just maybe some small hail. Nothing too major though, but there is going to be lightning, so you're going to want to keep an eye out for that. That pushes through, and what we're going to see is our high is going to kind of settle in. And this is in advance of that system that we just talked about that's off to the west. And so the clouds are kind of return for a lot of western Oklahoma as we get to the weekend. But again, it's not going to be as warm. We're looking at 70s and mainly 60s. But until then, it's going to stay that way. Look at these lows for tonight. We're still way above normal, 45 degrees for the normal, and we're at 69 in Norman and 68 in Oklahoma City. Tomorrow, though, temperatures will still reach the 80s. That's because that front is not expected to get here until after we reach the high for the day. So we reach 77 by the end. So there it is, 80 degrees basically for Norman. And we can see it's cooler to northwest. And that's because the front is going to make it to the panhandle before it reaches the main body of Oklahoma. And that's why our highs are still going to reach 80. But check this out. We've got relief on the way. 78 on Wednesday, 69 on Thursday. There's the cold front and thunderstorms. It gets cooler as we go to that. Now Friday and Saturday will be dry, but then we start to see that system approach, and we see the rain and thunderstorms and temperatures in the upper 60s and 70s, maybe even some 40s. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, Jordan, I am so excited for the cooler weather finally here in the state of
Finally
Oklahoma.
feel like fall.
Yeah, I think
it's
we all
November.
are. Yeah, I think we all are. We're definitely all ready for it. Thanks, Jordan. The Oklahoma City Thunder have made some big moves in the last 24 hours. Sammy Steele is standing by with the latest on that and more in sports. Sammy?
Thanks, Carson. Yeah, the Thunder are rolling and have made a few moves in the last 24 hours. We'll talk about what that means for the team going forward, and it's Tuesday, so I'm talking Monday Night Football. Sports is next. Welcome back. Tonight, baseball takes the main stage. The Cleveland Indians will try to take down the Cubs once again. The World Series is set at 3-2, and the Chicago Cubs are playing for their season. But Indians are looking to close out the series tonight so they can end their 68-year World Series title drought.
We have a chance of winning a World Series, but you still can't have that mindset of trying to go out there and win the game in the first inning. You have to go out there and take each pitch as it is and start living that moment until Tito comes and gets the ball, and then see what happens.
But here in Norman, the Sooners are preparing for their first Thursday night game of the season. Matching up against Iowa State in Ames, the Sooners are hoping to continue their momentum during the short week.
We've got to be at our best, here on a short week, take advantage of, the practice time we do have and go up there and be in a position to play our best game.
Exciting news. Sooners Baker Mayfield and Dede Westbrook have been named semifinalists for the prestigious Maxwell Award. The Maxwell Award goes to the College Player of the Year. Also on the list is former Sooner QB Trevor Knight. Oklahoma and Alabama are the only two schools with more than one player on the list. And moving on to basketball, here in Norman, the women's basketball team is ranked 16 in the AP 25 poll. The Sooners will take on Midwestern State Wednesday. Men's basketball is also gearing up for the regular season. Lon and some new faces are excited to see what this fresh team can do.
Neat part of college athletics, you always hate seeing people move on and disappointed for those losses, but also the excitement for the new guys coming in and inheriting and stepping into some of those minutes.
The number 4 ranked women's soccer team will open up the Big 12 championship play against the number 5 seed Iowa State tomorrow afternoon. This will be a conference rematch for the two. In September, the Sooners beat the Cyclones 3-0. The game kicks off 2 p.m. Wednesday at the Swope Soccer Village in Kansas City. The future of Thunder basketball just got a little more certain. Today, the Thunder acquired forward Jeremy Grant from Philadelphia for forward Ersan Ilyasova. OKC also signed Steven Adams and Victor Oladipo to contract extensions. Sam Bradford and the Vikings looked awful in Chicago last night. The Bears running attack shredded the Vikings defense. Jordan Howard ran 153 yards and 1 touchdown, leading Chicago to a 20-10 victory over Minnesota. Last night was Halloween, and apparently trick-or-treaters weren't the only ones having a good time. Check out this video Hunter Pence posted last night as Napoleon Dynamite. Guys, that video is so good. I love it.
That costume was spot on. He did a really good job with that.
I kind of had to do a double take there. Like, oh, wait.
Is that actually Napoleon?
Yeah, right, exactly.
All right, well, thank you, Sammy. Still to come on OU Nightly. For those of you who grew up with Harry Potter, your dream of becoming a witch or wizard just became a lot easier. Stay with us.
I'm Shireen Hashem at the Update Desk. Oklahoma City police are looking for 3 people for assaulting a teenager. 2 people dropped off the victim at the OU Medical Center, but they left before the police arrived. And today, more than 225 new state laws are going into effect. One law now requires Oklahoma residents to pay taxes for online out-of-state purchases. Emily?
Thanks, Shireen. And for all of us Harry Potter lovers, Google technology is bringing us the ability to cast spells using Android phones. 3 new spells, Lumos, Nox, and Silencio, are available to turn your phone's flashlight on and off and turn the ringer from loud to off. Google announced the spells this morning, but the new game, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, won't be ready until late November.
Jordan, can we take another look at that weather forecast real quick?
Yeah, so again, tonight, it's going to be much of the same. We're looking at 73 degrees at 8 o'clock, dropping off to 68 by midnight. When we look at the forecast for the rest of the week, we're looking at the cold front coming through tomorrow. It's going to give us a chance for rain and thunderstorms and a big time cool down coming up next week.
Yeah, I know we definitely need the rain, and everybody wants those cool temps to come
cool
around.
Temps, finally.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Jordan.
you. And thank you for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.